emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual Purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the Purge. All other weapons are... This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual Purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the Purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the Purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the Purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
Yes, 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 yes. It's the Purge. I think we're bottoming out here, man. Now, we still have room on the S&P 500 to go lower. The RSI is only 38. RSI is only 38. Unless you were too busy to look today. I know some of you guys were busy. You haven't had a chance. If you could squeeze it into your life, the stock market would like to give you some money. Now, this area that it stopped right now, it is stopped a few times. That is a zone of a previous breakout. And it's a zone where it stopped over here. So we can make a case for some support, man. Make a case for some support right there. You know, the only thing competing against that is this RSI is just not extreme. So, you know, there's 6 things that I'm looking for inside the money flow. 6 parts, 6 elements if you were to spend some time inside the money flow. If you were to spend some time studying it, learning it, get intimate with it. There's 6 things that we're looking at. RSI is a big important part of that, but it's not all of it. You see this histogram right here. Now the histogram wasn't created by the same dude that created the indicator. You guys know that, right? Let me pull this up. Hold on, let me pull something up here. Right here, this right here is the MACD histogram, right? And it's a momentum oscillator that shows the difference between the MACD and its signal line. So a lot of you have the lines here. I don't really need the lines. The crossovers is when price goes from this side on one up to the downside to the negative side. So the crossovers you see are happening right there. These are crossovers of the MACD. Okay. And what this indicator can do for you is help you understand momentum. And what the histogram does is for the slow kids in back, it gives you a visual diagram. And as you watch this visual diagram, you'll see that price is headed down. And then what? It stops. And you see how the histogram becomes even there. And it almost does what? A little stage. A little stage. Other indicators, you'll see them turn sideways too. Like we see stochastic starts to go. That's not really what I'm concerned with on this stochastic stuff. All I'm really looking for is breakouts and breakdowns. So breakdowns, breakouts. That's all I really care about. Breakouts, breakdowns. That's all I'm really looking for when it comes to that. So on right now, the momentum is still to the downside. But if we're going to bottom, that's going to tick the other way. It's going to tick that way. Just like you saw right here. It ticked that way. See the difference between that and that? Well, if you take that up on the chart, you're going to see that's what started the sideways and then the run that it did. So if we're watching this, that's what I'm watching for. I'm like, okay, I can't stop it from going down, but I do know it can run back up. It can easily tag the 200, can easily get up into here, right? Did it before, right? Came down, then ran up. Now what? It's come down. Now what? We expect it to run up. So if I'm a trader, I'm looking for trades. So I would drop this down. Let's say I'm watching the SPY, and what do we see? We see yesterday becoming an anchor point. This is an anchor point, assuming where it closes today, But we got 1 day, 2 if you count the anchor point. Are we above the 5? No. Is the RSI extreme? No. Is any of this coming up? No. None of it's coming up. Not yet. But if I want to watch it, if I want to be there the moment it happens, this is it. I stalk it if I'm trying to trade to the upside, right? If I was short, would I cover this? No. There's not enough evidence to say it's turned. But if I drop this to, say, an hourly, wow, is that a money flow pattern? Let's see. Did we get a box when the RSI went extreme? Check. Did we get a bottom the last time the RSI went extreme and get a box? Check. All right, what about this time? When the RSI went extreme, did we start getting a box? Check. It's almost like I've done this before. There's our run. That's a money flow pattern on a 1 hour chart. Sometimes people will say to me, does this work on options? The fact that you're asking me that tells me you should have no business trading options. What do you mean? Direction? If I'm playing a game of, all these are guessing, all these are calculated risk. Am I playing, the reason that I think the turn will come is it went from one extreme to another, put in a box and turn, stage 4 decline. One extreme to another, puts in a box and turns. And that's how price moves. So if you were to say, do I think this works for well, if you're trading options, seems like you'd want to buy them down here and sell them up here, or, do here and cover them down here, right? So of course, man. gothash.eth. I'm guessing it's got to be hard being so brilliant. It's got to be tough on your brain to know that you know the future and yet you're still broke. Like some people know where the market's going and they don't have any money. It's like, if I knew where the market was going, I'd be a billionaire. So if you're not a billionaire, you obviously don't know where the market's going. Unless you just figured it out last week. Did you just learn last week? So if you've known for years and you know where the market's going, you should have $1 billion. Right? So everybody thinks they know where the market's going. Let me see it. Let me see your short, man. Show me you're short. And they're like, no, they're not, man. They just bumping, talking. So I would ignore most people. They have no clue what they're doing. They're all broke. They're out there. They're struggling. They don't listen to them. Most people know nothing. You included. You know absolutely nothing. You have no clue where the market's going. If you think for a second you do, you're completely delusional. I don't know where it's going. Once I came to peace with that, this shit got a lot easier, man. People are like, where's it going? Don't know. Don't care. Like the game stays the same. Same rules apply whether we're up or down. I'm playing the same game, man. So it simplifies it for me. Let's see. Nibble on some puts. Bro, we're not buying puts. It's too late. You need to learn the money flow, man. Stop talking to me. You don't even know me. You don't even know me, man. You shouldn't even be talking to me. We don't even know each other. You're trading a different strategy. I don't know you. You don't exist to me. So it's too late. You should have already done the puts. Now that you're telling me to nibble them now, you're literally suggesting that I do something opposite of the strategy I teach, which makes you, I don't know what it makes you, man. It puts you on the wrong side, man. It means we can't be friends. You're actually encouraging me to go against the strategy that I teach every day. Keep an eye on the 1 hour. That's where I would keep to see if we're going to run. We're going to see if we're going to run. And if we do, this will break. And if you guys that are short-term traders, if you've called the bottom there, your target's going to be what? 407. So if I back this up and I'm watching the daily, you see on the 1 hour, it's starting to bottom. It's starting to do a money flow pattern, right? But if we go to the daily, look, as we're talking, it's getting greener and greener. If we get back up into here, massive, massive move. This would be the most bullish thing you can have where we're back in the box. We're back in the box. If it gets back in the box, that means we're running to here. So we'll see. We're not there yet. It could obviously sell off into the close. And then they'll be like, I told you so. And it's like, really? Because you're not a billionaire. So here we go. We'll see if this holds. We definitely have an anchor point here. It has stopped before using support and resistance. Stopped here a bunch of times. Keep an eye on this. This histogram could turn today while we're watching. So if I was super aggressive, I'd go from here. And if I'm trading, I'd go down to the 1 hour and see about putting on, however you want to play it, man. Look at it setting up, though. So if I'm short-term trading, let's say I'm trading the U-Pro, triple leveraged ETF. Let's see. If it goes back in the box, it's considered a stage 1 again, man. If it goes back into a previous box, it's into a stage 1, but it's pretty bullish. So here's the U-Pro, $36. So if I was going to trade this, I'm running a tight trade because I'm on the 1 hour, because if this breaks down, that means it's stage 4 continues on the daily, right? So if we go to the daily here, and we're looking at the daily, and we're thinking maybe this is the bottom for right now. It's not lifetime. It's like right now. Right now, that is the bottom, okay? Right now. And if it gets back up into this box here, you're going to have a stage 1 form, right? You're going to have the MACD turn that way. A couple days later, chest's going to break out, and what? You're going to have a stage 1, and then you'd have a target. Well, if we're short-term trading, we can be ahead of that. So we're on the 1 hour. And we're seeing the money flow pattern play out here. And so I would expect here's the bottom. Why? It's got extreme. We got our RSI move, right? So we're looking for the bottom. I'm looking for some sideways activities. Moving averages are coming together. We got the rollovers happening. So looks ready to rip. Maybe it won't. 36. I would put a stop in here, and then if that breaks, I let it drift, man. This is the U-Pro. It's a triple leveraged fund. So this is a leveraged way to play stocks without buying call options or doing a cheesecake spread or something. You could pick up the U-Pro. And this is a leveraged way. It would go 100 shares. If we hit our target here on the 1 hour, you're turning 3,600 into 4,300. That's 1,000. No, that's not 1,000. What is that? $600. If it completes this money flow pattern. Now, this is on the 1 hour, right? Right back in here is in that previous box. That'd be super bullish. So we'll see how this plays out. This is important to follow. You need to follow the SPY super close because none of your stocks go up if this is not going up. You get what I'm saying? And if this isn't going up, your shit's not going up unless you just get a rare. You know, there's always something going up. There's always a bull market somewhere. And some things will always move. But if this weight here, if this general progression is to the downside, all stocks are coming down. You know. So a lot of times people ask me about growth stocks, and it's like, well, where are growth stocks going? If they're all going down, that means all of yours are going down. You really got to make that connection. What do I think? Well, most people ask me, what do I think of TQ for a long-term hold? If you had my superhuman abilities, I think it would be fine. If you're weak and that thing dropping by 50, 60% is you're going to pee yourself a little, and then you're going to be embarrassed to tell your girlfriend, and then you're going to be like, well, I need this money for something else now. If you're going to be that guy, then don't do the TQ because it's super leveraged, man. So if the market was to go up 30% from here, it would go up 100. Well, if the market goes down 30%, yours goes down almost 100. So keep that in mind, man. Make sure that you have the mental. Everybody feels tough when the market's going up, but they're not so tough when it's going down. I know, I run a group of traders. Everybody loves it when it's going up. They don't love it when it's going down. Until you get totally psycho and actually get real money in the market, then you love it when it goes down because you know that's your only chance to get shares cheaper. Last thing you want to do is put 30 grand in the market and watch it go higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. You realize you still have chump money, right? So you turn 30 into 100. You still got chump money. You're still holding baby money. It didn't change your life, didn't do shit for you. Now you're just scared to lose the 100. And then the stocks are going up. Now you're going to be overpaying for stocks. So now you're overpaying for them. And then when it finally does crash, you're all fucked up because of how easy it was before. So be the guy that loves the down days, love the misery. Like when you get where you're comfortable with that, man, this game gets really easy. Waiting on Google. Let's see. Yeah, it's just still bleeding, bro. I wouldn't buy Google here. You don't have an anchor point. Everything's pointing down, man. Look. Down, 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 down. There's not a single thing that says up. Nothing. Not one thing says up. Nothing. Like this day here currently is lower than that day there. So too soon on Google. Dude, I'm telling you, only kids like it when it goes up, man. That's all you young chunks. You guys like it when it goes up. Be like, Gerald, I bought my house and I'm sitting on 100K in equity. And it's like, really? You still have no money. Best thing that could have happened to you is your house collapsed in price and you went and bought 10 more. Yeah, but because it went up, now I have equity. Okay, so take your equity and go buy expensive houses. Like, that's the problem when things go up, man. If you're a real player, you get squeezed. So if you notice, I haven't bought a lot of houses recently. I can't, not for my model, not in my area. So I got to go try other models in other areas. I need them to come down, not up. Like, it's hard to buy 3M at $150, right? So if I want a lot of this, goddamn, I don't want it to be 150. It was 170. You know how fucking hard it is to buy something when it's 170? It's a little bit easier when it's 115. But only if you believe over time it'll be 170. So, man, once you figure that out, bro, it gets simple. It gets simple. Meta sucks, dude. Thanks for bringing a shitty pick to the play here. Just straight down. Red, 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 red. Everything says down. So thanks for a crappy pick, sir. Tell them about straight line focus. Yeah. Yeah, so I think the SPY's bottoming here. I may be a little early yet. I'm just jumping my strategy, watching. We'll see. If it sells off, it's not. If it can't hold this, then it's not. And we'll see. The thing working against this, the RSI is still 37, so keep an eye on this. Where's the RSI? What about oil? Do you notice this? You see what's happening? Oil's coming back into the box. Are you watching? Are you watching? What does this mean, man? Are you watching this? Are you watching this? Everybody gave me their stupid stock. Are you watching oil coming back into the box, or you just want to talk about PayPal? Do you see what's happening? Oil could be coming back into the box, which will be super bullish. Meta will be fine. Meta will be back. It's the world's most viewed. The market purges people. Have you noticed this? So look at the RSI just kind of bouncing on the same as this thing goes sideways. MACD's turned, sort of. A little mixed. We'll see. If this gets back into the box, that's a big deal, man. The boar's coming back. It's a penny stock play I got. I might be adding to this. Boar, B-O-R-R. It's a penny stock. Even you guys can afford this one. It's $3.90. Even you can pull this one. Look at this. You could get a whole 10 for $40. You could get a whole 10 shares and have a few dollars left over. Was MySpace on the stock market? No. Stop. Stop. It was not. Why would you even ask that? Let's see. Yeah, so, man, Zim has 94% yield. Yeah. I got a lot of people talking shit on the Zim one. Like, well, I can't have it. It's like, bro, have you read the 10K? And they're like, no. Then stop talking to me. Like, go read it and then come back and explain. But it has gone straight down. So I nibbled in here because it looked like it put in a bottom. And then down we go. So I'll just wait. We'll just wait on this. We'll see how it goes. FedEx, remember I was saying don't touch it. It's going lower. Did we get a little bounce? Yeah, we're up 1.5%. You got plenty of time on this. This is still a downtrend. You got plenty of time on this. This is not going to run on you. You got plenty of time on this. No, I think oil stocks are going higher. Let's watch Exxon. Now, they're starting to roll over, but they're trying to come back into the box. So this last run was interesting. Oil stocks were running, but oil itself wasn't running. So I would keep an eye on oil. If oil can stay up in here, then we're going higher. If it breaks, it's way back down. So Microsoft. You think that's bearish, sir? You better flip that view, man. Because you're probably getting ready to buy the bottom. Has it ever stopped here before? Yep. Can we see the money flow pattern? Sideways, sideways, right? So we got sideways, breakout, up, sideways, down, and now we're coming into a zone where it stopped before. So that's bullish to me. I get it. It's been bearish. But now what am I waiting on? I'm waiting for the MACD to turn. I'd like to see stochastics come out. What am I waiting for? A stage 1 to be built, right? So it's not here yet, but the RSI just went 29. So check 1 RSI. Now what? I'm waiting for a pivot point. Is it likely to be here? Pretty likely because it stopped here once before. So now I'm keeping a close eye on this histogram. If that starts to turn, man, and I'm a owner of Microsoft, this is where I start dribbling. I just start dribbling in. I mean, I would start buying. And that's how I'm looking for it. And then as a trader, I'm watching that same setup, man. And what am I looking for? Man, would it be hard to imagine it runs back to here or the 285, even if we continue going down, like sideways up, sideways down, sideways up, sideways, and a big move down? You're going to have those money flow patterns play out, even in, whether we're in a bear market or a bull market. You're just going to have a lot of down, sideways, starts to rally, breaks down, we have them the other way in a bull market. A lot of you guys are just buying NVIDIA, but you're not doing any research on the chip network, on the chip companies. Chips are fucking changing, right? They're changing chips. Some companies are like Ford starting to make their own chips. Tesla's starting to make their own chips. Google's are making their own chips. I would highly encourage you to go listen to this podcast called The Business Breakdown. And it breaks down, all the chips and how they're being manufactured. NVIDIA may have some problems coming. I know a lot of you guys are saying that with the AMDs and the Intels, man, and I would caution you not to be going off the past, but to go what is actually about what is happening in the future. What is starting to happen right now. So as in the past, companies did not manufacture their own processing chips because computer speed was doubling every 2 to 3 years. They didn't need to. But now computer speeds are not doubling like that. So there's a cost basis, there's a cost reason to develop your own chips. Meaning over time it'll save Tesla money not to buy chips from NVIDIA, not to buy chips from Intel, not to buy chips from AMD, but to actually develop their own chip. Now, some of them may do strategic deals where they do chips with NVIDIA if NVIDIA produces the Google chips they need. So, and there's a lot more to chips than just PCs too, like he said. So I'm just saying, go make sure you're studying that down. A lot of my time is spent, man, listening, reading, and go look up that podcast, The Business Breakdown, Intel's, and talks about the chips. It's a concern. It is a concern. It's made me want to start spreading money around to other chip companies because there may be a real winner out of all of them. State of Oregon is funding Intel. Good, they need to. Rich people have been funding you your whole life, bro. If it wasn't for rich people, you wouldn't even have streets. You're welcome. That city park all the kids play in, rich people. No poor people build parks, by the way. Poor people don't build hospitals, by the way, or buy stock to launch developments or build bridges or Amtraks or space flights. It's all rich people. Let's see. He said for real. You guys are welcome, by the way. I want Zim so bad, but it scares me. How can they put that dividend all the time? They won't run out, or they'll cash in more. Have Nature Guy 101 before you pee yourself as you think about the dividend. Have you read the Q? Have you read the Q2? Like the actual earnings statement. Go to the company website and read it. You got to read it. You got to read it. Or maybe you're too lazy. Maybe your fingers don't work. Let's see. If I was to go to E-Trade, I'm going to read this to you guys. I get a lot of questions about this stock. It's not sustainable. It's like, did you read it? It's not supposed to be sustainable. It's based on earnings. And so if we go into a recession, their earnings might go down, which means the dividend would go down. So it's readjusted every quarter. So let's pull this up. I'm going to pull it up, man. I'm going to show you guys. All right, listen up, kids. This is how you do it. This is the website of the company. You come over here and you click investors. Then you come over here and you're like, financials. But I didn't go to Harvard, Gerald. It's all right. Click it. You're like, but I didn't study under Warren Buffett. I don't know if I can read it. Click the Q2. All right. You're like, but I can't read financial statements. Zim reports financial results for the second quarter of 2022. If anyone's confused by anything I just read, just raise your hand. Okay. Quarterly means 4 times a year they make money and they pay it. Recorded Q2 2022 net income. Here it is. Listen up, kids. 1.3 billion. Continue to deliver very strong operating margins, according to the company, according to the money they made last quarter. They reaffirmed, meaning going forward, they have the same guidance. So the company, not a kid on Twitter, the company, the CEO, the guy that did go to Harvard, right? Oh, we don't want to hit that. Back up, man. The CEO said, we reaffirm. Now, the pot smokers, that means they're saying it again. I just want to reaffirm to you, okay? 2022 full year guidance expect to generate record, but I don't know how it's sustainable, Gerald. Record adjusted EBITDA, right? Earnings before, you can go look all that up. 7.8 to 8.2 billion on the year. They made $8 billion. Now, you guys would run out and buy a bunch of dumb shit the moment they gave you that money. Half of it be spent. I put out a video the other day and said every follower of mine should listen to this video. That if someone was given $10 million, the very first thing they would do is consume a large portion of it. I meet people all the time. Come into 500,000, 200,000. First thing they do is consume it. Increase quarterly dividend payouts to 30% of net income. 30% of net income. What is 30% of net income? Of this. What is the net income on this? So increase 30% of net income declared Q2 2020, the dividend of approximately $570 million. Meaning for the quarter, they made $1.3 billion. But it's not sustainable. Okay? Well, they're going to pay out 30% on whatever this number is. So this quarter, it was $571 million. There's only how many shares? There's only 120 million shares. So if you divide this number by 120 million, you get $4.75 per share. Next quarter, they may be like, well, we only made $908 million. All right, we take 30% of that. We divide in that. It'd probably come out to like $1.70 per share. And so whatever the company makes, they're going to pay out 30% of it to shareholders. How long can they keep doing that? I don't know. They don't have any debt. Net income for the quarter was $1.3 billion compared to $880 million second quarter of 2021. So they're making more money than ever. There's a supply chain shortage. They're having a hard time getting things in. People need shit. Seems like a good business idea to me. Year over year increase of 50%. So this company's loaded up, man. Now, unless you think they're not going to make more money in the future. Blah, 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 blah. That's how. So I think most of the people that haven't talked to me about the stock have not read that. So that's where we're getting it from, man. As long as they keep making money. So if they pay the next payout and it's like $3, $4 a share, they're literally going to buy you. I mean, it's crazy, the yield. So it's a chance I'm taking there. Don't take, everything is a percentage, man. Everything is a play, man. We're not all in on any one play. We're not buying one rental house. We're buying a dozen or 20 or 30. We're not buying one stock. We're buying 20 or 30. We're not buying one crypto. We're buying a portfolio. So you're not going to have one sale. You're going to have thousands of sales. You're not going to do one deal. You're going to do thousands of deals. So the moment you realize you're going to do tens of thousands of trades, this one fucking trade means nothing. So if you get all bent up, stressed out, all worried over one stock or one trade, you already lost, bro, because it's not about one stock, one trade. It's about thousands and thousands of executed trades, thousands of executed trades, thousands of executed trades, thousands. of executed trades. You won't even remember the one. They're like, what was your biggest one? You're like, damn, I don't know, man. I've had like 12,000 trade. Let me see. And you got to think on it, man. You got to think on it. That's how you want to get. This is just old hand shit, man. Thousands of them. How much sim do you have, G? About 10,000, bro. About 10K. But my net worth's 4 million. Do you think I'm losing sleep over it? So if I'm worth $4 million and I got $10,000 invested in a stock, how much worry do you think there is? Not much. Now, if you got 77 stocks, which I have, and you got $10,000 in each, accumulatively, if they're all going down, that could put some worry on you, right? But not any one play. So make sure you're not caught up in any one play can help hurt you, man. Sorry to spam, but I dedicate lots of time to small cap researching. I doubt that. Let's see. You spooning in bed with your girl, reading notes to her, I wouldn't call research. You think it's worth, or should I focus on established companies? No, I think if you got an edge there, Alex, for real, you should do that. For sure, man. Last thing you want to do is take some old dude saying, you need to build a diversified portfolio. It's like, no, I need to make money. And you take the profits. See, that's like he's saying there, I spend a lot of money dedicated to small cap. Yeah, man, that's a great idea. If you can prove that you're good at it. So it's like, what's going to cause you to buy one? What's going to cause you to execute on it? Is it from a fundamental perspective? How do you know when it's time to take profits? Like, how do you know when it's time to bail out? If you can answer all these questions and it's some sort of repeatable pattern, like that's how you win basketball games, right? You have a plan, you train, we do this on Monday through Friday. We go on the game, we execute it, we have a plan, we're going to get the ball to this dude. If this happens, we're going to do that, right? And sometimes in the heat, you call an audible, right? That's part of management or coaching. But if you're approaching it like that, yeah, man, flip, man. I got a friend, you know, they make money on eBay, 75,000 on eBay. Should they stop that to do real estate? It's like, no, do that, take the money, buy real estate. So if I could make money on, this is what kills people with crypto, man. You get in there and you catch Dogecoin and you go up to 50 grand. And it's like, good, now pull it out and go buy permanent shit. And then go do that again. Because it won't be one trade. It won't be buying one coin. It's not going to be because you bought Bitcoin. It's going to be because you did that 10,000 freaking times. Man, even in that, you're not going to get rich buying one house. It's going to be because you did deals over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And it wasn't one deal. Maybe one, it's nice when you get one deal, but you're also going to get bad deals. And you're going to have deals that eat you. Right? Same in stocks, man. Maybe I sit underwater for 2 years in Zim. That would make you, you might be a little upset by that. It don't mean jack crap to me. When your net worth's large enough and any one position can't hurt you, you now have time on your side. Now you can sit back and you're like, cool, let me add to that little. And you just bang it over time. I mean, even something like this, what is this, AG&C? So if all I'm interested in is collecting the yield, all I care about is picking up these stage ones, man. Now look what happens there when we get up here. What's happened? I brought my price point down. I brought my price point down. I brought my price point down. Plus I've collected some yield. Shit, by the time we get up here, I might want to take some down because I see something else over here. And that's managing your money, man. But that you can't do that if you're all in one thing. Like you don't have the ability to make plays and catch that. Because I don't know what sector is going to get hot. Might be small caps, might be biotechs, might be oil stocks. I don't know. So I just want to load up on the ones not doing good. Yeah, and Zim may cut their dividend, man. I don't know. I just look for arbitrages. So as I'm studying shippers, we come across that through, I have friends that research stocks like my man Alex there. They're researching. And so I got friends that when they send me a stock pick, I stop what I'm doing, I look at it, and I immediately buy a couple shares so I don't forget. Because they don't bullshit with me. They're not going to just send some random fucking ticker. It's because they came across an article, then they started researching, then they're up at night, and then they're thinking it through. By the time it gets to me, like he's like almost like, hey, are you seeing something I'm not seeing? You know, so you want people like that in your life, man. Same with properties. I got a dozen friends that, hey, look at this house I just put a bid in on. Well, that encourages me to want to put a bid. So if none of your friends send you houses they're looking at buying, you ain't got no houses either. That's because all the people you hang out with don't buy houses. So you guys all get to be broke together. If your friends don't send you stock tips, all your friends are fucking broke. So you're hanging out with broke people. Guess what? You're going to be broke because you're hanging out with them. You're gonna live to reflect the shit you're around, man. I'm telling you, man. Most of you guys are broke just because your parents were broke. And everyone around you speaks about broke things and spends their time doing broke shit. Average, common, everyday shit that everyone else does is too overwhelming for them. And so they can't ever elevate to the higher ideas to grow themselves, to become more, to do more, and be more. Because they spend all their time on lower ideas, man. On just the simplest things. What's up? What's up? What's up, man? Don't be that way, man. Better rise up, man. Instructions unclear. My parents' life savings are color red. Would you buy coin at these levels? No. I would not. I would not. You said Peloton ate you. You could have bought a put on Peloton, sir. You could have hedged your Peloton with puts. You know, could have shorted it. A lot of those things. So learn from that stuff, man. I was telling the guy the other day, you want to learn the options game? He's like, yeah, just trade to the short side. He's like, what do you mean? Only take option calls on stocks you own and only do it to the short side. Not forever. Just right now. It's an experiment. Like if you're worried the stocks are like, trade it to the short side. So whenever you get crossovers and things start to look like they're going down, now you play your options game. You hold your shares and you get short through options. If that doesn't work and the market turns and the stock goes up, all right, well, your stocks are going up. But if you're 100% in options and you get it wrong, you got a problem. And so you got to figure out a way to use them so that if you're wrong, it's not a problem, right? So what I was trying to explain to him is this is a simple way for you to learn before committing a lot of capital is just to trade around the shit you own, man. So if if you're trying to learn calls, and you get a stock that comes down big and you would have bought shares there, fucking pick up an option there. Don't stress it, man. Buy one or two, no big deal. Like you lose $50, who cares? So as you're learning things, money shouldn't be what's deciding your factor. If you're trying to trade and you're letting price or how much you paid or how much money's in your account, you're never going to be a good trader because you have this hang up and you can't execute the way you're supposed to execute because of the dollars you're getting hung up on. People do that in real estate too. They get hung up on the dollar amount. And it's like, what does that have to do with anything? And they're like, well, it's $500,000. And it's like, I'm not paying that. And people will do this in stocks too. They'll come in, they're like, well, I can't make money trading $100 stock. So I'm only going to trade $10 stocks. Okay? That's not true. You just made an assumption that isn't true. Plenty of people with small accounts. You can do it through options. Right? Yeah, maybe you can't buy 100 shares of Tesla at $300. No shit. That'd be a lot of money. You could buy a call, right? There's other ways of doing it too. You could do fractional positions now. I mean, most places do fractional positions, right? We see a breakout happening right now on Tesla, right? So if it gets through here, where's it going? Next previous high. So, man, that was a nice one too. And a lot of people need to learn options. Need to learn from my man Manny there. I'm going to have to bring him on the money flow thing to do. You talked to me before about that, Manny. I'm going to have to do that. About, remember we talked about an options class for the money flow game. We might have to do that. And start with hedging, man. So that way it'll make sense to people that how it can protect them. We'll have to get together on that, bro. And we'll do a class just on that. I mean, let you do what you do. You know it better than I do. I mean, I get the idea. I used to do it a bit, but I don't do it every day anymore. I paper traded Peloton short 100 shares and 7. Why was I only paper trading? No, that's good, bro. You know how to do it now. So get on it, man. Let's see. Yeah, we'll have to talk about the best platform to do that, man. Probably recording it, although live would be cool. I guess Zoom would be the best way. Let's see. All right, man. You guys be good. I gotta go do some work. I just recorded a podcast with my. I forgot I was even on YouTube. Hey GP, if you like Zim, you should check out FRO. I know there's quite a few shippers are making a lot of money. I just went with Zim. Dash has been getting a lot of freight lately to their warehouse. I love Dash. I love Dash. I've been just dripping Dash, man. Every day I can. It's holding a stage one. I buy a little Dash, but I mean, it may be a while before that plays out, but I do love Dash. I love Dash. I loved it when it IPO'd. I love Airbnb, but that's run on me. I love Uber. But just take your time with those. If you're trading, look for some leverage shit to pray. Look at the U Pro right now for some quick money trades. You might could catch a breakout there if we break out, or a breakdown if we break down. Um, yeah. Let's talk later about that, man. We'll do a class forum, man. They ask me all the time. Thanks, GP. Appreciate you so much. You're very welcome. I did a podcast today with Gene Borello. He was a street soldier for the Bonanno crime family. He was an enforcer, a pistol, leer, armed robber, specializing in jewelry robberies and robbing other wise guys. Had him on the podcast. I don't normally interview non-stock real estate type people, so that was my first time to do that. Um, Probably not my best interview, just because most of the people that I interview I personally know or have gotten to know them, or I have some familiarity. I'm a huge mafia buff, so it was cool. I figured I'd start with a guy on the lower end of the. He he was on record with the Bonanno family, and I'll bring on some other people, and also let me practice. It'll be on Spotify. Um, yeah, I think it was good. I mean, I messed up myself by getting tongue tied a bit. I don't want to say I was fanboying, but if anybody knows me knows I'm a huge mafia buff, and I spend in it way too much time reading, listening to mafia content, and it's just part of that hustler porn stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of them. Mafia dudes work 24/7 every day of the week. You don't take a day off. You're always a gangster once you start. You're never off. And I like that, man. I like that. I like when a guy's never off, man. I think dudes that take days off are weak. And I'm not saying just because you take a day off. I mean, you take a day off and you just don't do shit. Like, I can't, I've never been able to do that. I do take days off, but even then I got my notebook out. I'm prepping for some shit the other day. Oh, I got to check a couple emails. Just like to completely take it off, I just can't get my mind around it. All the dudes that I know that do that are broke. Like, they will stay broke. You can't. This world demands too much. It costs too much money to live here, man. Inflation's too high. If nothing proved the eighth day that, like, you got to make money when you're doing you can't just have a job, dude. It's impossible. You will never get ahead. Never. You'll never be a good trader if all you have is a job, because you'll never have enough money in your trading account. You've got to find other ways to make money, or you're just never going to get enough money to be able to do the stuff, man. So once you learn to trade with 10,000, 20,000, if you can get it to 100,000, you're going to grow exponentially faster. So what if you just had $250,000 in your trading account? And it's not to blow it and go all in and try to make like, that's what kills people, man. You might have 250 in your trading account and you only got 30,000 in trades right now. What'll kill you is you're all in, all 250 immediately, because you have no self-control and you just buy, and you're just buying shit everywhere. That's not trading. Trading is pinpointing, targeting, boom, moving in. Unless you're position trading, which is a different conversation. But our interview with Jamal, that campfire was fantastic. I don't know, man. I might not. We'll see. Part of her story was a little too out there. Not that I don't believe her. It was just like, damn. You better step it up, ladies. This chick's 28 years old, got a doctorate degree, 3 kids, owns 27 properties in a hotel. I'm talking to people who can't pull the trigger on the first deal. She's 28, got 28 houses and a hotel and a doctorate degree, raising 3 kids. It's like, my God. Talk about an assassin. Ain't no way you do that working 5 days a week. So, I don't know. I need to get with her because that story was pretty intense. All right, man. You guys be good.